Hi folks, this is Chris Voss from the chrisvossshow.com, the chrisvossshow.com, and I'm profiling the new Google Wave preview. I got a hold of the beta on this, of course. I've been getting lucky. I've been getting a lot of betas lately. I'm still testing something out for Twitter, which is really cool, and I think I should be able to blog about that fairly soon. Anyway, this is what the beta version looks like. Now, there's a lot of people knocking this original version that's come out. I'm not going to speak to it. Some of the stuff that I think could be improved upon or I don't like about it because it's going to be kind of moot. Obviously, this is a beta program. They're going to probably making lots of enhancement changes. There's no use in complaining about something that most likely will be resolved in the future or make it look good. Now, on the face of it, it is fairly simple. What is kind of interesting is it's kind of what you might call, this is how I look at it. It's a new way of running an inbox or email discussions as opposed to like, you don't want to think of it as a Twitter-like product. It's more like a advanced model of your email system that you would use. Now, what's really cool here is, of course, you have your inbox, your requests, stuff that you do yourself, et cetera, et cetera. You can create different folders just like you would an inbox. And so you really think about this as an inbox. Only what's interesting about the inbox is it's an active inbox. When you have conversations going on with people, you can have an old email or old conversation, as it were. I think they call them waves on Google Wave, come active by somebody coming into the conversation and chatting with you. Now, over here you've got your contacts, of course. What's really neat is that you can take and add in applications just by adding in their emails. You can see probably a few of the applications that I've added in here. I'll show you some examples of how they work. But literally, anytime that you want to add in an application, it's almost as simple as just adding a new contact address. You may have to also add an extension in when you go to go to create the field for it or whatever. But here's an example. You can see a list of some of the different people that I've been chatting with. That I obviously don't have a lot of people that have Google Wave. But there's video in here you can use. And of course, other things you can discuss. What's really neat is you can see here me and Dr. Wave are having this particular conversation. Let's go into one of the bigger ones. There's a lot of people. This is a general one. But what you can do is this add button allows you to add people to your conversation. So it's no longer an email, which is usually restricted, except with some pain in the butt CC, BCC issues. You can add other people to the conversation. And by doing that, you can only add other people, you can add components to the conversation as to what you want to have, such as Google Maps. You can add your Twitter. You can add, there's a whole plethora of applications that are currently in development and are currently out and, of course, being improved. So it's some pretty cool stuff there. Whoops. Let's see. It's going to take me a hard time to get this, I guess. This is a big load. There's over 313 people on this conversation. As you can see, it's coming out a little squirrely here at first. And but what's really cool too is you can create a conversation and there's a flow of the conversation from front to back or from beginning to end. And let's say that you get the conversation and you want, like your boss says, hey, me and research development, we had this conversation about this forthcoming product. Hey, we want to get you up to speed on it. You can actually go back to the playback mechanism. You can see there's a playback button up here. And by clicking playback, you can play back the original conversation. And that's pretty neat because if you do that, you can get up to speed with what's going on throughout the whole email. You don't have to have somebody forward you 50 trillion forwarded emails that they had back and forth. If you ever had that happen, you're like trying to read them all and get the sequence of events put in a place where you can even understand what's going on. So that's really an interesting thing to take and have with this that I really like. There's a few different apps here that I thought were kind of cool. There's obviously a lot of different stuff on here. There's little games you can actually play and different things of that nature. There's actually like little hangman. I think there's a chess game, stuff like this. There's a program that you can use, and literally you add, by clicking up here in this plus button to add someone to the conversation, you add an app. So let's say I was talking to somebody here and I wanted to add an app. I'd add in the Twillo, in this case the Twillo bot, app spot person, okay? And then what I can basically do here. Let's see if we can pull this off. There's kind of a weird feature where to continue the thread, you have to find the bottom of it. And I'm sure they're going to change this in the future because it is really hard to get to. But you basically go in here. Let's say I'm going to call my office line. And it already has in this Twitter programmed in my thing. So let's say you're having a chat with a conversation with somebody, and it's like, hey, let's just pick up the phone and discuss this. You can put your phone number in there, and I'll click done here, and it should, with the app, make me a call button. I'm going to take and call my phone, and what it will do is it will call my phone that I'm currently have programmed it to call, and it will open up the line, and then it will ring the 31997 number and call the person for me. So we end up on the line, and no one really has to do anything but push the call button. You can see here it's calling 2 different numbers, and if my phone wasn't currently off right now for this call, I'd be probably picking up. So kind of some neat things there. The one other thing, if you're a Wikipedia fan, you might really like this. This is a thing where you can program it, and I have the Wikifire app spot here as an additional conversation to whatever conversations I'm having. And basically, by adding this link, whatever you put in that's a topic, you can put a little code after it, and it will put in Wikipedia links. So I've got one for the North Pole here. So as you're conversing with people, you can send them Wikipedia to get them up to speed on definitions, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the Twitter application. There's, I think, 3 of them, and I am having trouble getting them to work, but once again, this is a beta product. You can see it's pulling Twitters right now from anyone who's talking about this TweetyWave program. I have not got it to pull my TweetWave, but like I said, there are some issues they're still dealing with, et cetera, et cetera. It is pretty cool. The other neat thing that I love about Twitter is when you're conversing with people, they can literally see what it is that you're talking about. They can literally see your conversation as you type it. And I can literally see people typing a conversation and then backspacing to correct it. So it's very live. You know, if you're used to the instant message version where you type, they type, you type, they type, you type, they type, et cetera, you can actually have a conversation where you can see people digit by digit typing out the letters, which is really cool because you know they're typing. I think one of the problems I've always had with IM is sometimes it says the other person is typing, but they're actually talking to someone else on an instant messenger service and not you. And that can get really confusing because you're like sitting there waiting for their answer, like how long is it going to take for them to type this? So in this you can actually see what they're typing, which is kind of freaky because if you start typing something insulting like this person's stupid, and then you decide you don't want to tell that to them, this person, you're obviously going to see it. What? You said I was stupid, and then you erased it, and then you retyped that I was really smart. So it's pretty cool that way. You can see the instant typing that's going on. I think it has a humongous amount of potential. It's very simple in its format, and then the apps are what are probably going to really dress it up in the way of making it formatable. I expected a Twitter-type product, and what I'm seeing is more of an inbox, advanced email-type product. I don't know if that perception is correct, but that's my take on it. There's some different things you can also get as your conversations get updated throughout. One of the things that's hard to do is to be able to be notified of stuff. So there is a Google Chrome notifier that has been developed that's having some issues, and there is a Mozilla thing that I've actually added to my Mozilla program where it will notify me as conversations get updated. One beef that I have heard running around town is running around the internet town, is that you get some of these conversations going, as they get updated, it's hard to figure out which ones are which and what's been updated, and you know, if it goes up the screen, he's obviously scrolled down quite a bit. So, you know, those are some issues I'm sure that Google's going to address. Other than that, I think it's a great program. I think it's got huge potential. I've had some pretty good fun having conversations with people. I actually do like it a little bit better than Twitter in the fact that I can actually have a conversation with somebody. And what's great is you can create a Twitter experience where I can bring 10, 20, you know, in this case there's over 188 people in this original Google Wave conversation. I don't know if there are any limits, but to be able to have that many people collaborating on an idea is pretty cool. So, you know, who knows if it'll be a Twitter thing or not. Anyway, Chris Voss from the chrisvossshow.com. That's Chris Voss from the chrisvossshow.com. I'll see if I can blog about the other thing that I'm currently in beta with. I've been testing a lot of stuff for people lately. So fun is fun. Make sure you tune in regularly and check what's latest on the website. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you.